Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy Crispy Daniels. But before we get started with our movie review today, I would like to first give a special shout out to all of the fathers out here, especially to the ones who are guiding our children in the right direction. Also to the ones who stepped up becoming stepdads. This day belongs to you as well. I know it's not easy at times raising these kids, but to the ones who are committed and never gave up, you deserve all of the praise, and today is well deserved. So happy Father's Day and enjoy. Yo, you are now on Show and Talk. All right, y'all. So we about to get into this movie review. But there's a few things I would like to mention before I actually start talking about this movie. So one, unfortunately, I got to talk about this film. I really don't want to, but I'm gonna have to complete the saga. The whole franchise. So today's movie review, we'll be talking about American Ninja 5. Now, originally, this movie had no relevance at all to the American Ninja series. That's why, in a lot of cases, you saw basically packs where it came from, like American Ninja 1 and 3 or American Ninja 1 and 4. And this movie was rarely included. But, because the original titles of this movie was Little Ninja Man or American Dragons. So it was something different. But, that does not excuse the fact that this movie is ass gravy. So check this out, right? You ever take a shit and you got like the stomach virus and it's like your shit is like so liquefied and ain't nothing but water coming out your ass? You know what I'm saying? That's what this movie is. There's nothing solid about it. You know what I'm saying? This shit was fucking garbage, man. It was garbage. All right, so this movie it stars David Bradley once again in a whole new role. This time his name is Joe Kastle. Yeah, Canon, they had a real imagination for names. You know what I'm saying? Joe Kastle. But anyway, it also stars Lee Reyes, Ernie Reyes Jr.'s little brother. Y'all probably know Ernie Reyes Jr. from Surf Ninjas and the second Ninja Turtles movie. But yeah, man, this movie was cheesy. So I want to talk about the action first, right? So the fight scenes in this movie, I say were pretty decent. I give them that. You know what I'm saying? But you could tell that the violence was toned down a lot because this was the only movie in the entire franchise that was family friendly. It gained a PG-13 rating. I don't know. I guess they wanted more access to the audience. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, I didn't think all the other movies were that violent either. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you had, people getting sliced and all that, but it wasn't geysers of blood like you see in these samurai films and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, the story was just boring. Like I had to watch it yesterday to refresh my memory because it's been so long since I've seen it. I thought maybe I'd give it another chance, but nah, this movie was still stupid. So I found myself looking at my phone every so often to check the time. And this is pretty much the longest movie in the franchise as well. Now, I will say this. The best thing I can say about this film is the beginning where they had the training montage, where you had what's his name, Tadashi Yamashita, you know what I'm saying? Chopping apples off the sword along with David Bradley's character, Joe Kastle. That was probably the best part in the entire movie. You know what I mean? In my opinion. So basically the movie revolves around Joe, basically I guess now he's a martial arts master or a ninjutsu master, you know what I'm saying? So his master comes in. I forgot what his name is, but he's played by that's just how much I give a shit. I seen this movie yesterday and already I'm forgetting names, you know what I'm saying? But he's played by your man Pat Morita, Mr. Miyagi. So he brings his great nephew in, right? And his nephew's name is Hiro. This is the kid played by Lee Reyes. And the one thing I gotta say is that yeah, he was toting the Game Gear with him, and this time it actually had a game in it. Unlike the kid in Rumble in the Bronx, you know what I'm saying? Shout outs to that film. But yeah, so Joe at first is kind of hesitant. He's reluctant to watch this kid because he's not. I guess he doesn't really do well with children. I'm not sure what the case was, but he was reluctant. But he told his master he would babysit because master had a business trip, I guess, to attend to. So Joe relents and he keeps the kid with him. So after this, he returns back to his boat that he had went to earlier. And when he got there, his boat was like being renovated and everything by this one girl. I guess she was a neighbor because he had lived on the boat, and so did she. So she was like basically remodeling his boat and everything, but she purposely did it, right? And tried to, I guess, make it look like an accident because she was trying to get his attention. And it was like two boats down from each other. So she invited him over to her place for dinner. So at first he was kind of, reluctant about that too, because he's like, yo, who are you? Why are you on my boat? I didn't, request this or nothing. I didn't put in an order for a paint job, whatever. So basically he got a free paint job and he, pretty much bagged this woman, you know what I'm saying? So basically later on that night, him and Hiro, they go to her boat for dinner. And so afterwards, she takes the plates to the kitchen, and now Hiro and Joe are sitting there playing the Game Gear or whatever. And it takes her a while to get back. So Joe goes to see what's going on, and he looks in the kitchen, and there's a rose on the floor. You know what I'm saying, or a tulip or whatever. You know what I'm saying. I suck at identifying flowers, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm an idiot when it comes to it. But anyway, he knows something is wrong. So Hiro spots the dude that took her. You know what I'm saying? And this guy's played by James Lew. His name is the Viper. And yeah, I swear to God, man, this guy looks corny as fuck in this movie, man. Like I preferred him in what's the movie The Perfect Weapon. Even though he had a cameo part in that movie where he was fighting old boy in a gym. You know what I'm saying? That was like the only part of the movie that he made an appearance in, really. But I preferred him in that one scene than this entire movie because he was like a corny looking villain with like a cape and all of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I guess when it comes to movies, this movie wasn't really trying to take itself serious, apparently, but still, they could have done better than some ninja character in the cape. You know what I'm saying? I thought that shit was stupid. But he was the one that kidnapped the girl. So Joe and Hiro, they decide to, go off and try to catch up to the van and snatch they put her in or whatever. And they got to this plane or whatever, right? And it was about to board the plane. So Joe tells Hiro to call the cops. And conveniently, they park right next to a payphone, you know what I'm saying, where the plane is located. So I guess Hiro, I don't know if he pretended to call the cops or what, but when Joe walks over to the plane, you know what I'm saying, Hiro follows behind him shortly after. So now they're in a completely different place, right? Overseas. And the reason why this girl is kidnapped is because there was this professor. He was supposed to make an insecticide. So I guess the experiment was a success, but they wanted to really be sure. So they wanted him to test it on this dog or whatever. But he didn't want to do that. He refused. So that's why the girl they kidnapped was his daughter. So that's why they got her. I guess is to blackmail him. If you don't do this for us, then we're gonna kill her and kill you. So now Joe and Hiro are overseas, and almost immediately Joe gets arrested. You know what I'm saying? He gets spotted and he gets arrested. But somehow Hiro got away a few seconds before the authorities showed up or whatever. So now he's in the back of the van. He's in the back of this van. I swear this was some old, like, I ain't gonna say Home Alone 2 Lost in New York shit, but somehow Hiro, you know what I'm saying, he caught up with that van that Joe was in the back of on his bike that he stole from this local or whatever, right? So as he's sitting there watching these dudes get out of the van, he makes his way into the van, and then now he's speaking to Joe, and Joe was basically like, "How you do this? You know what I'm saying? How do you keep getting away with this shit? You know what I'm saying?" So as I'm sitting back, this movie is pissing me off more and more, man, because I'm just like, this shit is silly. You know what I mean? This has nothing to do with American Ninja. And I'm like, they should have just kept it at American Dragons with that title. You know what I mean? No, not even that. This movie don't even deserve that title. They should have just kept it as Little Ninja Man. You know what I'm saying? But they get away. You know, Hero's driving the van or whatever. So he gets Joe out. And now they're, continuing their journey or their adventure. You know what I'm saying? That's how I can describe it in a movie like this. You know what I'm saying? So again, Joe gets caught. You know what I'm saying? So Hiro thought he was killed because his pants got caught on fire somehow or whatever, right? He jumps into the water. And then one of the dudes, this bald headed dude, yo, I swear to God, it could be the same dude from what's the movie? Best of the Best 2. I swear that's him, but I don't know. But yeah, he takes the machine gun and he shoots, he's shooting in the water thinking that he got Joe. So he walks away. Hiro sees this and he starts crying or whatever. So now he's looking for the American embassy and he comes across this group of kids. Like he's so desperate, he's willing to give them his game gear just so, he can find the embassy or whatever, just so they can help him. But nobody understands him. You know what I'm saying? So later on, he comes up on this dice game or card game or whatever that these locals got going on in this alley. And then I guess he's sitting there watching, and they thought that he cheated somehow, or he tried to, take them for a ride. So one of the dudes was about to cut off his hand, and then Joe shows up out of nowhere, washes all of them. So now they're back on track, the two, you know what I'm saying? So this time, Joe, because Hiro all movie has been asking him to, teach him his ways or whatever. So Joe finally decides to do so. And now they get into this meditation state. And out of nowhere, Hiro's uncle shows up. His great uncle from the beginning, Mr. Miyagi, because that's how y'all basically know him, Pat Morita. So he shows up and he's basically telling Hiro how much he's improved, and he's telling Joe basically, he needs to improve as well. But he's telling Hiro to, let go of the pain of your father being murdered or whatever, because we're going to get into that in the second too. You know what I'm saying? And he's telling Joe the same thing about his brother, because the reason why Joe was so hesitant to train this kid is because his brother was murdered in a street fight, and that's the person he trained. So Joe's brother shows up for a split second. I guess he's a entity too. So I swear to God, this dude looks older than Joe. You know what I'm saying? But he was supposed to be his little brother. So, after that whole thing is over, they get up and then they continue on what they was doing. So they come across the girl or whatever, because she's in the room with the same dude who shot in the water and he thought he killed Joe. So she's sitting there reading, and he's been trying to make passes at her the whole time. So she accidentally on purpose kicks him. And then the dude gets up and then he really tries to get that ass. You know what I'm saying? And she's basically telling him, back up. And then there's a knock at the door. So the dude goes to the door. I'm wondering why he's pulling the gun, because if that's their hideout, why the hell are you pulling the gun, bruh? Like, everybody there is on your side. You know what I'm saying? It's a part of your team. So Joe obviously is standing there in a ninja outfit. You know what I'm saying? Basically saying that somebody's here to, rescue the girl. And then the guy's basically like, who? And he pulls off his mask, revealing himself. And then he basically knocks out the guy. And then, the girl comes out the room and he follows. So now it's the three of them trying to escape. And so out of nowhere, all these ninja in these corny ass outfits, these outfits look dumb as fuck, in my opinion. I ain't even gonna lie. Nah, I take that back. The outfits were alright. You know what I'm saying? It was just their performance. was stupid as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can't buy the fact that the fight choreography was okay. It was a little smooth because, like I said, David Bradley was a real life martial artist. So, but the kicks and punches look so light, and I'm like, how are these dudes getting knocked out? You know what I'm saying? Especially by the hero, where he put him on his cart and he's rolling him down. Joe puts Hero on his cart and he's rolling him down the hallway, and Hero's just kicking ninja. All ninja they keep coming across just in the face lightly, and they just fall and get knocked out. I'm just like, yeah, they really tried to go family friendly with this shit. You know what I'm saying? So out of nowhere, the elevator doors open at the end of the hallway, and all these dudes come flooding out with these machine guns and whatnot, these Uzis. So they're running off. You know what I'm saying? And they got away from all of that. So later on, fast forward, you know what I'm saying, to where the professor basically tells, the head dude that it's a success. He finally came up with a powerful insecticide or whatever in the form of a pill. Like, he finally completed the project. So the guy wanted a demonstration, but the professor at first was hesitant. So the guy insisted on getting the demonstration. So the professor was like, okay, all right, fine. So what he tried to do, the professor tried to drop the pill into the liquid and grab a gas mask, but the head dude caught on to that in no time immediately. You know what I'm saying? So now they fighting over the gas mask and everything. And now they lock the professor into this room and they put a timer on this gas, which I don't that's another thing I don't understand about these movies where you got these villains giving the hero or the protagonist or whoever time to escape. You know what I'm saying? If I made a movie, yo, I'm telling you, I'm not going to give you time to escape. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get you immediately. You know what I mean? But they gave him time. So the professor's daughter shows up, right? And now she comes up in the room trying to save her dad because the dog and her dad are tied up. So now she gets locked in the room. It was all a setup, basically. So now the gas has been released. So Joe finally, shows up or whatever, right? Because Hiro, he got caught as well. But he's in his room, meditating. Like, he's back in his little meditation state. And there's a guard that's basically on lookout to make sure he don't escape. He has a gun on him. So Hiro's doing his meditation, and out of nowhere the guard falls, right? Like, falls to the floor. And he thought, what I'm saying, what he did worked, but he turns around and Joe was standing there with the girl. So they all escape. You know what I'm saying? This was after Joe, well, this is before she found the dad or whatever, I believe. I'm trying to remember. Like I said, yo, I really don't give a shit about the story, but I have to explain it to you just in case you're curious about it or you want to watch the movie. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So they, what I'm saying, get the professor out eventually, and they lock the villains, the main dude, and it was another dude in there. It was the main dude and the bald headed dude, you know what I'm saying, that was trying to kill Joe. Um, so and it was somebody else as well. Oh yeah, the ambassador. The ambassador. You know what I'm saying? Because the ambassador was supposed to, I guess he was supposed to be in charge of things or whatever, but it turns out he was working with the enemy and shit. But all three of them got stuck in that room. So Joe, the professor, Hiro, and the girl, they all escaped. So now Hiro and Joe, they see the Viper, the corny ass villain. I swear to God, I can't stand this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Boarding this plane, the same plane that they were on earlier. So Hiro and Joe, they run off and they board the plane just in time before it took off. And the professor and his daughter was left behind. So now they're on this plane. It's on autopilot or whatever, and now they're fighting the Viper. So we come to find out that the reason why, what I'm saying, there's a chain around the Viper, right? Like the stick chain with this medallion. Come to find out that belonged to Hiro's father, the dude that the Viper killed years before. You know what I'm saying? So I guess Hiro wanted revenge, but Joe did all the work. So basically, they knocked him out the plane because the Viper was about to take out Joe, but Hiro shot him in the head with that medallion. So the Viper falls out the plane. You know what I'm saying? Apparently to his death, and now they somehow landed the plane. And so now it's at the end where everybody's back at the docks or whatever. And this Joe, you know what I'm saying, the professor, Hiro, and the girl, and Hiro's uncle shows up. I guess he's back from his trip or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? That was all to me, that was all pretty much a test. You know what I'm saying? To leave Hiro in the hands of Joe, to turn him into a better person or a better kid or whatever, or, learn martial arts or whatever. I think that was the reason why that was the real reason why he left them with Joe. But yeah, that was pretty much the end. Joe, the girl, he gets the girl, and Hiro, the professor, and his uncle, they all sit down, drinks and everything. So that's pretty much the movie right there. Now, if I got to give a rating to this movie, and some of y'all want to know what I rate the movie, I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 10. Just because Canon Films had the balls to make this movie, just because this movie exists, you know what I'm saying? I give it a 1 out of 10. This movie sucks ass, man. I swear to God, yo, the fighting was toned down a lot. I did not buy the fact that the kid was kicking all these dudes' asses. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Hero was just, he was annoying, asking a million questions, man. This movie was just fucking ass, yo. I'm telling you, you can go back and watch it. You know what I'm saying? It might piss you off as well. If you never seen it, check it out. American Ninja 5. I will never watch this movie again. The only reason why I have this movie is because it came in a 5-movie collection with the other 4 films. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep it just because of that. But yeah, this movie was just a disgrace to the American Ninja franchise. You know what I'm saying? This shit sucks, man, in my opinion. So yeah, if you want to watch it, American Ninja 5, yo, I got no more to say about this film. I'm about to get up off of here. Like I said, if you're curious, watch it at your own risk. All right, y'all, I'm gone. Peace.